It's so important to stop avoiding disappointing people. Seriously. Because what is going to happen? I've seen it a million times. I see it in my practice. I've seen it with myself. Literally, I see it in my practice almost every day. People are afraid to disappoint people. It's okay to disappoint somebody. I don't mean go out and intentionally disappoint them because you're trying to prove a point. It's not what I mean. What I mean is you put your growth. I see it, like I said, every day. Well, I'd like to do this, but like I don't want to hurt their feelings. You're going to hurt their feelings. Be okay with hurting feelings. You will get your feelings hurt when you start expecting you out of people, right? So let's say somebody starts to put themselves as a priority. Now you get all up in your feelings sometimes. Sometimes you're like, I mean, but like, what about me? But yet they need to do that for them. There's a rule of thumb that says if you need to be without me to heal yourself, great, I'm here for it. It's going to come with confidence. But it is important that you understand that on this path of growth, there are going, not might, there are going to, without a doubt, 100% be people who are going to get disappointed. Do not let it be you. You will get yourself disappointed when you start expecting them to celebrate your wins. They don't have to celebrate your wins. Seriously. You got to stop thinking that because you're on this growth journey, not everybody, it's not that they're intentionally not wanting the best for you. That's not it at all. Sometimes they just don't know where they fit in, and sometimes they don't fit in anywhere. And sometimes you don't fit in anywhere for them, regardless of the relationship and regardless of how long it's been. This is a harsh truth, and this is Radical Acceptance 101. My entire practice is based on letting go of your ego, being your best self, working through your past stuff, being mindful, and growing. And on that journey, that means being the villain and allowing yourself to understand that sometimes you're not going to be on their journey and sometimes they're not going to be on your journey, regardless of relations and how long you've been with them. Because what will happen is you start negotiating with yourself. Okay, well, yeah, I expect to disappoint that person. Hell, I just met them a couple years ago. Yeah, I don't really want to disappoint them. They're my mom. You don't get to do it both ways. Your mom may be disappointed. Your friends may be disappointed. Your boss may be disappointed because you've set a boundary of not staying after 5 days a week because that's what you've always done. And you have to remember that for a long time, you have allowed people to do blank. Whatever it is, you've allowed that behavior. As you start to grow and you no longer allow that behavior and you start putting sort of like a boundary up, oh gosh, they're going to be mad. They're going to be mad and they're going to say to you, very disappointed in you. Good. That means that you're on the right path. You're on the right path. You have to be careful of your expectations, is what I said a second ago. Because if you're expecting them to see it and celebrate your wins, they don't have to. They don't have to. And you'll get yourself disappointed because you're like, well, can't they see I'm growing? Can't they see those things? Yeah, they can. But sometimes people aren't going to like it. If they can't benefit from your lack of boundaries or they can't benefit from, this big change, sometimes they're going to be like, oh, that's good. And then you have to ask yourself why you're hoping that they celebrate you. Because you are valid within yourself. You are perfectly valid and you are perfectly fine not getting that praise. And the moment that you start becoming the villain and you start disappointing people and they start trying to gaslight you, and you're going to see it right on your growing journey before you might be like, oh my God, wait a minute. Were they guilt tripping me? Yeah, that's gaslighting and manipulation. Wait a minute. Were they manipulating me? Yes, they were. Yep, yes, they were. And so what I want you to do on this journey is you have to wrap your head around the fact that you're not going to bring everybody along with you. That is day one. If you are a new client, and I'm going to share that with you here. If you are a new client, I will tell you day one, not everybody on this journey is going to stay on your journey, or not everybody who starts on your journey is going to stay on your journey. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So listen, if you were so healed and all these people were healthy for you, you wouldn't need half as much therapy and half as much stuff as you do now. So you can't have it both ways, right? You can't be like, okay, I want to grow. I love these people. I want them to come with me. That's not love. That's attachment. Because to love somebody knows, you know what? Like I said, if you need to grow and I'm not part of that, okay. Okay. You're allowed your feelings to be hurt. They're allowed their feelings to be hurt. You're not allowed to project your growth and what you would do onto them. That goes back into expecting out of people. So when you start to accept that when you disappoint someone and you become that villain, that you were on the right path and you don't feel guilty for it. That's going to take you some time. Because for a long time, you might have been in a people-pleasing state. For a long time, you might have put yourself second. For a long time, you might have bought into the fact that you're selfish. You're not. If you're not your number one priority, it's going to become an issue because you can't be good. I don't care how much you try to give somebody else. You can't be good for them if you're not good for yourself. Facts. You don't have to love it. You don't have to like it, but it is what it is. So if you can't put yourself and your needs in front, you can't demonstrate that to other people either. You can't tell other people or even set a boundary with other people for what you will and will not tolerate because you don't know what you will and will not tolerate because you've been on this mission all your life half the time to try to make sure everybody's happy. And baby, that is not your role and it is an impossible feat. Yep, that is never going to happen. But what you do want to do is not put yourself on the back burner. And let me tell you, for a long time you might have. And it's not too late. It's not too late. I've had 65-year-old people tell me it's too late. No, I've had 20-year-old people tell me it's too late. It is not. It is a mindset. Where your mindset is how you're going to see life. If you see life through a dirty lens, everything in the world is going to be dirty lens. Everything. If you see it through a bright, clean filter, you start to look for opportunities. You start to look at different things. So important. So how you see life is how you'll see everything in it. Everything. Not just one or two things. And so you have to remember that. So then you go down that pessimistic road. And then when you go down the pessimistic road, now we go back to everything is through that lens. So I just want you to be aware of that because the more you look at your surroundings on your growth journey, the more you're going to see why you're growing. You can love people. But you're going to have to radically accept family, relatives, don't care, that maybe they served a purpose. And maybe that purpose was to teach you. Maybe that purpose changes over a period of time, but that doesn't mean that they have to stay in your life forever and ever and ever. Because that will go into attachment, that will go into expectation. So the next time you get in your headspace about not wanting to disappoint somebody, you have to say, am I protecting my peace? Your peace is far more important. Far more important. And so is theirs for them. So it also pertains to you, right? It also pertains to you. You can get your feelings hurt. You can say you're upset. You can say you don't understand it. But if they need to grow without you, emotional maturity says, okay, you need to grow without me. That doesn't mean that you're not valuable. That just means that your value in their life has run its course. Accept that. Don't sit there and try to make them pull you along. That's not going to help you or them. That's going to breed heavy, and I mean heavy amounts of resentment. You don't want somebody to go on this journey because you've guilt tripped them, because you didn't mean to guilt trip them, but you did guilt trip them. Now you're disappointed because you had an expectation, just like they're disappointed because they're no longer able to control the scenario. So the very next time that you get in your headspace, I need you to remember that on this growth journey, when you start disappointing people unintentionally, okay, and you become a villain, you know that you are on the right path.